The best cycling overshoes are what we're trying to find in this video, and in these I might just have the answer. On and off-road adventure cycling is at the heart of this channel. We offer tips and reviews, always honest and clear. We have a popular series for beginners called Stuff Cyclists Don't Tell You, and specialist expertise from leading triathlete Sean McFarlane. You can find out more at our website. Please subscribe. This video is a detailed review by both of us of Spatzwear Roadman 2 overshoes. Good points, less good points. And we'll use them to tackle one of the thorniest questions in cycling. Should your overshoes go outside your tights, or should they be tucked underneath? Full test on that coming up later. I have tried lots of overshoes and I'm looking for two main things: warm feet and dry feet. I was given a pair to test and so was Sean, so let's start with his impressions.
When I first got these, my initial reaction was they're pretty heavy duty, they're sort of industrial as it were, and not, to be honest with you, the sort of kit that I would normally use road biking. For me at least, if I've got to wear this sort of kit heading out for a road bike, then it's raining too much for me to go road biking. But after using them for a few times, what I realised was they're really handy for not just when the water's coming from the sky. Most of my road biking, especially over winter, is done on wet roads. And when those roads are particularly wet, that constant spray coming up from the tarmac beneath me is a real struggle for even my best overshoes. I've been biking now for about 2.25 hours, 2.5 hours, and it's been raining the whole time. Now, my hands are quite cold and my face is quite cold and I'm quite damp, but my feet feel fantastic. They feel dry and they feel nice and warm, which makes me think with these overshoes I could actually bike a lot more in these sort of conditions. But the boots do get wet. This is after a ride of about 3 hours, and as you can see, the inside of the boots are wet, not soaking, but certainly damp.
I've also tried them in the rain and we'll get to my conclusions shortly. First, a couple of other points. If you like high-vis stuff, then bright shoe covers are great. The rotary movement attracts drivers' eyes and really does make you more noticeable. The Spatz are more subdued, at least during the day, but at night these reflective patterns catch the car headlights, and I think that's a good thing, and you don't look like a banana. The Spatz are quite bulky, and I wouldn't take them on the off chance that I might need them. I'd go for a small folding pair like these from Craft, or something really flexible like these from Velotoes. But Velotoes are a pain to put on, and I wouldn't dare put them on over winter boots. They'd probably rip. In fact, these ones did rip when used over regular cycling shoes in Morocco. In fact, almost all overshoes which go on toe first risk being ripped when you walk in them. This is the great thing about Spatz. They go on your leg first, and only when you're ready to ride do you put them over your toe and fasten the Velcro underneath. Now, this might seem a minor point, but it will greatly increase their life. It also means they're easy to use even over the top of winter boots. Okay, on to the key points. I rode the Rapha Festa 500 at Christmas in temperatures regularly down to -3 Celsius. That's about 26 Fahrenheit. The Spatz do a good job, but they're not the warmest overshoes I have. These fleece-lined Bontrager overshoes are a little bit warmer when it's dry, but the Spatz come a very close second. However, in the rain, they are far superior. Rubbing can be an issue.
Spatz do mention this on their website, and they say that if your toe rubs against the crank as you're pedaling, then perhaps Spatz are not for you. It's not a fault of the product, but it is something to be aware of, because mine were absolutely fine on my road bike with road boots, road pedals, but when I used them on my winter bike, it's also my gravel bike, unbeknown to me, different boots, different pedals, I started to wear holes in both toe areas, just on the inside where my foot would go past the crank. And as you can see, I am going to have to repair these because that one's quite a bad tear and the other one has worn to a hole. As I say, it is not the fault of the product, it's the combination of the product on those boots, on that bike with those cranks, and perhaps me.
We've repaired them with some Black Witch that I normally use for wetsuit repairs. There's a link to buy it in the video description. So finally to my rain test, and if you listen to the sound of the rain on the roof, yes, you can definitely hear it's raining. One tip though, if you're using shoes, their chances are there are going to be some vents like this if they're summer road shoes, or perhaps if they're SPDs, they will have a bit more of a gap around the SPD. In those cases, if you're going to use these with a Spatz, I'd block those holes, maybe put some blue tack in there or a bit of gaffer tape over the top to try to stop the rain coming up from the road and entering the shoes that way. I'm going to use my winter boots with the slimmer profile, not the ones that cause the rubbing, and you'll see on the sole there, no holes at all for upward spray. Now the truth is I've used these Spatz quite a lot already, so I know they're pretty good. However, there is a debate in overshoes as to whether or not they should go on top of or underneath your cycling tights. The thinking being that if they go on top, the way most people wear them, then the rain just comes down the inside of your leg, goes down inside the overshoe and fills up your shoes that way. So I've put one normal style on the outside of my tights and one underneath my tights in the hope it's tighter to my leg and will stop all water filling my boots. I'm riding for about 2 hours in constant rain, puddles and road spray. If I was using the Spatz with summer shoes rather than boots, I'd probably wear a pair of sealskins too for extra warmth and waterproofness. At £85, Spatz are not cheap for overshoes, but here's the thing, they turn summer shoes into winter boots, and looked at that way they are excellent value. Back home, frankly, it didn't matter whether the Spatz were over or under my tights, both socks were dry. So finally, a few conclusions. If you prefer to ride in spring and summer weather, and you're not really one for going out in the rain, then perhaps these aren't for you. The price might put you off, and what Sean called the industrial quality of them. Again, if you are someone who has slightly wider feet, then again perhaps the possibility of rubbing on the cranks might put you off. However, if you go out regardless of the weather, if you ride and train in rain, and particularly if you are a commuter, then I heartily recommend these overshoes. They are simply the best I have ever worn. Now if you found this video helpful, it would be great if you would give us a thumbs up please, and we'll see you again next time.